Yo, Josh, what's good, man?
What's up, Christian? How you doing?
Pretty good, bro. How you been?
Not too bad. How about you?
Good. I have a quick question for you.
What's up?
So you're into anthropology, right?
I am, yes.
All right. So what was it called when you like dig up old sites and everything, like in the
Oh,
mine mounds and everything like that?
Archaeology. Hello everyone, I'm Joshua Aragon, and so I chose my topic to be based about archaeology. So what exactly is archaeology, you may ask? It is a branch of anthropology that specifically studies the human past by looking at the physical remains people left behind. Instead of just reading about the history, archaeologists actually uncover it by studying things like tools, pottery, buildings, and even bones. These objects help archaeologists understand how people live, what they ate, how advanced the technology was, and how the society was organized. By studying these remains, archaeology helps us build a timeline of human history and see how different cultures change over time. Overall, archaeology gives us an understanding of where we came from and how we see society shaped into the one we have today. And you may ask me, like, Josh, why would you want to focus on archaeology? And to me, it's so fascinating to see how humans used to live and how we advanced over time. Because obviously now we have technology and all this high-tech stuff that helps us survive. But back then, it's just so cool to me to see how humans adapted to like not have what we have and how they function, how society was different back then, and how it shaped and evolved into like us today. And so the whole idea to see how humans used to live and how they adapted based off what they had at the time is so fascinating to me. But you may ask me, Josh, why is archaeology so important? Because it helps us understand how people lived in the past and what their daily lives were like. It also shows how cultures have changed over time and how different societies developed in their own ways. Archaeology also helps explain how our society, came to be, since many of these things we have today have been influenced by the past. And a big reason too, it helps preserve history and important artifacts, so it's not lost and forgotten. And by having these objects of history, it helps us see some insight of what living back then must have been like and how they adapted and survived. Finally, archaeology teaches us all the different cultures and traditions, helping us understand people all as a whole as times have changed and how humans developed. So now I'm gonna show you guys kind of the process of archaeology and the whole kind of steps behind it.
Step one usually entails archaeologists would go into the actual field and do a quick survey to map it out. So for example, let's say I want to dig out this site. I'll look at landmarks, look at hills, kind of give a map of it. And then step two, I would mark the spots I want to dig up. So for example, let's say I want to dig up this section. I'll mark it like this. That way, they would know which side to dig. And then the next stage would be to actually dig it out. The process of this is, a lot of tools and a lot of manpower goes into this. And so you dig it out. Let's say you find like a ancient clay pot, like for example, like this. You then analyze it on the field, jot it down, take it to the lab, and study it. So that's some steps of archaeology.
But Josh, how do I get into archaeology?
That is a good question. To get into archaeology, there's a lot of important requirements. First, you must get a college degree in either anthropology or archaeology. This will help teach you about human history, cultures, and how to do field work. You also need field experience, which means usually working at excavation sites, which is often done through field schools or internships. Archaeologists also need strong problem-solving skills and operation skills because they have to carefully analyze artifacts and figure out what they mean. They also use technologies and tools, so it's important to have a basic skills in mapping, recording data, and sometimes even lab work. Sweet. Well guys, if you have any questions about archaeology and the process and why it's important, please let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video and have an amazing day.